What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Sunday, start sits, week 14. It is crunch time. It's time to get it together. Hopefully you've clinched your fantasy football playoffs already. If not, we got a lot of stuff on the line here today. Hopefully going to be coming through for you with these start sit answers, these start sit questions that you guys got. Want to give you everything you need here to feel confident going into the weekend. Now, on top of that, we started doing this a couple weeks ago. We're also going to build out a DraftKings lineup, maybe two of them. I kind of feel like I want to do two of them today over on DraftKings, so we'll do that as well. But I see we got some early birds in the chat with the questions, so let's get those questions in here ASAP. We'll start answering them, and then we'll build some DraftKings lineups as well. But Majestic says, woo, let's get it, baby. Caleb says, Amari Cooper, Addison, and Debo. You got to pick two of them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Caleb. I got to go Debo Samuel and Jordan Addison. Now, hear me out. When I look at these matchups, both Addison and both Debo, they play at home this week. I currently have Debo as my wide receiver 33 in my rankings. Jordan Addison is my wide receiver 35. Amari Cooper is my wide receiver 39. So when I'm looking at these matchups, I think I just got to go with the two guys playing at home. I've been worried about Debo Samuel. I've said Debo Samuel is a risky player right now. However, Kyle Shanahan did say this week that he is trying to get Debo Samuel more involved in the offense. They asked him why Debo Samuel hasn't been performing. He said he wants to play Debo Samuel and he wants to get him more involved. So we'll see what that translates to this week. Obviously, it's a little bit of a tougher matchup, but I do think that he is still a fine play right now. So let's I just saw this that says breaking news. Jake, the Minnesota sports fan, breaking news. Pickens is out. Pickens is out. Plan accordingly. So let's just fact check this. I believe you, Jake. I don't think you do me wrong, but I do want to just fact check that. Here you go, folks. Here you go, folks. George Pickens is officially inactive. Mike Tomlin had expressed optimism that he would go, but now he's officially out with the hamstring. So, George Pickens out. That sucks. Unfortunate. Let's get back into these questions, though. That is tough, man. We'll talk about official inactives and actives here in a second. Charbonnet versus Arizona or Grendo versus Chicago, playing Irving in the flex versus Las Vegas. I think I'm going to go with Charbonnet. I think he has a little bit more pass-catching chops. I think he's a little bit of a safer start. He's probably going to get some goal line work. There's part of me, as much as I like Grendo this week and as much as I'm going to be playing Grendo where I have him this week, there's a little bit of me that feels like Kyle Shanahan might get a little bit of Patrick Taylor involved. Maybe we even see, a little bit of some other guys. I feel like Charbonnet is going to get the entire workload. He's been good when he's been given the workload, so he's the safe floor play for me. I think they both have similar ceilings, but Grendo, I want to play him. If I have Charbonnet, I'm playing Charbonnet over him. Niner says full PPR, Tyrone Tracy versus New Orleans or Braylon Allen at Miami. I would go with Braylon Allen. I think the offense is going to be a little bit better than that offense there in New York. So I'd probably be playing Braylon Allen. Bucky Irving or James Cook. I'm playing Bucky Irving where I have him. I have him higher in my rankings this week. He would be the guy that I go with. Let me guess, too true Vikings fan. You would have never guessed. You would have never guessed. I don't know how you know. Majestic says, why to start Devonta? Well, one, it's a positive matchup for Devonta Smith. I think if you have other options, there's definitely plenty of other options that I would play. When it comes down to why, it's going to depend on team need. I think some teams you're going to play him, some teams you don't need to play him. It just depends on the personnel that you have around him. But the matchup's positive. They should score quite a few points. The only issue is they're probably going to get away from the passing game into the second half, as they're just going to be stomping the hell out of the Panthers. So, yeah, playing with that. Majestic says, why start Devonta Smith over Juwan Jennings and DJ Moore? Okay, so there's a different question there. I think, one, DJ Moore, I don't love the involvement over the last couple of weeks. He feels so boom-bust, which is the same as Devonta Smith. Juwan Jennings is maybe the player that I would be playing over Devonta Smith. He feels like he's going to get more usage, and they're going to be in a game where they have to pass the football more. So I think you could go either way. All of these guys are kind of in the same tier as each other, low-end wide receiver twos for me this week. So they're all the same tier. Now, with that said, would you trust any other Pittsburgh wide receiver to pick up the slack? No, probably not. It's probably going to be tough, man. It's unfortunate. I just can't. Russell Wilson's probably not going to do very well this week either, and I need him in a league, so that's unfortunate. Brandon says Charbonnet or Braylon Allen. I would go Charbonnet. Morning PPR sit one, DJ Keenan or Hopkins. Give me Keenan Allen here. Full PPR, it'd still be Charbonnet. How you feeling seeing Cousins back in Minnesota? I hope he throws 5 interceptions. I just hope he throws 5 interceptions today. That would be great. Brandon, if Pickens is out, should I flex Chubb or Jonnu Smith? Full PPR. Well, Pickens is out, so I would go with probably Jonnu in a full PPR. Westbrook Akine, Evan Engram, or Amari Cooper in the flex today. Give me Amari Cooper. Demetrios, good morning. Need one running back and one flex. Braylon Allen, Zach Charbonnet, or Brian Thomas Jr. Give me Zach Charbonnet. And then I guess for the flex, give me Braylon Allen. Those would be the 2 that I go with. Brandon says, or do I grab Jalen Warren with Pickens out? With Pickens out, I would probably still... Who is your other option? Amari Cooper? Or you said Jonnu Smith or Chubb? I'd probably still go Jonnu Smith over Jalen Warren. Will, running back Pacheco, Allen, or Tracy for the flex spot. Give me Braylon Allen. Take on Isaiah Davis this week. I think there's a chance he's involved in the receiving game a little bit. I'm not playing him anywhere. Actually, I lied. I have a rebuilding roster where I sold all my running backs, and Isaiah Davis is like one of the few running backs that's on the roster. So he's starting in that league. But yeah, if I had him in like a redraft or something like that, I would not be playing him. He's going to be fine, though. I think he's going to get some passing down work. I don't think that Braylon gets the full, bell cow role, but he's still going to be very good, and I think he's going to be used on the goal line. Isaiah Davis is just a receiver. All right, so we have caught up on the questions. I want to get to these official starts, inactives and actives as of right now. So I will pull that up on the screen. You guys can see it. Actives today: Bucky Irving, Malik Neighbors, Jacoby Myers, Kendre Miller. Inactives today: George Pickens, Alexander Mattison, Breece Hall, Raheem Mostert, Cedric Tillman. So it's some stuff that we have to get around for the most part. We gotta get around the Breece Hall. A lot of us have figured that out already, though, with the Braylon Allen there's a lot of running backs on the waiver wire or were on the waiver wire this week that you could have picked up. So we can probably get around that one pretty easily. Mostert, Tillman, Madison, they weren't big ones. The George Pickens one right now, that one's the one that we're probably going to be scrambling over. I have a league where I have George Pickens, so probably... Let's see, where are we at? I'm actually just about to go set that lineup right now. Where is it at? There we go. I have a team right here with Devonta Smith, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, Malik Neighbors, Khalil Shakir. So we're probably going to have to take Pickens out. The good news is that if we put him on the bench, we move Neighbors into that wide receiver spot and then open up the flex. I'm going to be able to play probably... It's between Chuba Hubbard and Will Disley. I'm probably going to go Chuba Hubbard. It is tight end premium, but I'll go Chuba. That's a tough one, though. That's a tough one. What else we got? Neighbors ruled healthy. Yeah, he is ruled healthy at the moment, so we should be able to play him. Andrew says McCormick, Disley, or Amari Cooper. Full PPR. Give me Amari Cooper. Biggest question mark is McConkey this evening for lineups. Yeah, he's tough, man. I'm waiting till the afternoon games. I'm lucky enough in one of my leagues where I have McConkey that at 4 o'clock I have James Conner. So I could play James Conner or I could play Tyrone Tracy. But I'm just going to wait with James Conner there. And if he's not ruled in by 4 o'clock, I'm probably just going to go James Conner there. Start Nick Westbrook, Akine, Garendo, Juwan Jennings, DJ Moore, or Travis Etienne in the flex, and why? Akine, Guerrero, Jennings, DJ Moore, Travis Etienne in the flex and Y. Yeah, I'm going to go Isaac Guerrero here. Isaac Guerrero is going to get a workload. For the Niners, it's a decent matchup. I think he's going to be able to get into the end zone. He's probably the best touchdown odds of anybody on this list, despite Westbrook Akine getting into the end zone all those weeks. I think Guerrero probably has the best odds, and he's guaranteed a lot of work. So probably just going to be going with Guerrero in that one. That one feels pretty easy to me. Tunchi, as a Seahawks fan, I do not trust Charbonnet at all. Honestly, hope they give McIntosh some run. That would suck if they gave him some run. ETN, McCormick, or Abdullah, full PPR. I'm down bad with Hall and Walker out. ETN for me. Anthony, KC is worse versus tight ends and McConkey's unknown. Yeah, I mean, we could really wait on Disley. It's risky because if McConkey goes in, you know, maybe Disley doesn't have a great day, but it probably doesn't matter. I'm eliminated in the league that I'm waiting on anyway. So Neighbors or Ridley / Mooney. Even though Neighbors is healthy, I can see a limited role. Yeah, they even said earlier this week that he would get a limited role. So I would play Ridley. Ridley's high in my rankings. Mooney is not close to as high as those guys, but I'd probably play Ridley over Neighbors this week. All right. Should we start this DK lineup? Try and get some of these DK lineups built and talk about those players and some of these matchups. Let's see what we got. Go here. So I do have this team. I was trying to mess around earlier. We'll see what we can do here. I'll clear that out. Build this out. MKK says flex White, Debo, or Cooper. Can't wait for McConkey. I mean, I would probably be trying to wait for McConkey as much as I could with these options available. I guess I'd probably go Debo, but I'd be trying to wait for McConkey as much as I possibly can. And to be honest, there's probably guys like Josh Palmer that are on the waiver wire, and if you can pick up like a Josh Palmer or something like that, I'd probably just do that and wait for McConkey. Knox, Gesicki, Fant, or Freiermuth for tight end waiver ad. I would go with Freiermuth with Pickens out. Oh, one quick question. Full PPR, Odunze or Neighbors? I would go Neighbors over Odunze this week. All right, so we got this lineup here. 50,000 salary. We got to build a roster out. What I want to do is I want to try and figure it out and try and get a team built. We're probably going to do 2 of them if we can, if we want to mix a couple things up. Palmer's on the waiver wire. Yeah, I'd probably just pick Palmer up and wait on McConkey. Johnny says, sup, bro? Just heard Pickens is out. Lockett or Keenan Allen as the replacement. I would go with Keenan Allen over Tyler Lockett. Just feel like you get some guaranteed receptions there in PPR formats. So I'm looking at some of these quarterbacks, and some of the matchups that I like are Allen, Hurts, Baker Mayfield, and then I like Sam Darnold's matchup all the way down here. We talked about that a lot yesterday, but he is the best budget option. Other budget options for me would be Kyler Murray and potentially like a Jameis Winston, but we'll probably have to figure that one out. I think for this first one, I want to build around the Darnold and the Jefferson stack. So that's what I want to build around in the first one. I know I'm sitting here in a fucking Vikings jersey, so I get it, but I just think the matchup's too good for those two guys this week. So I want to build around that one, and then we'll see what else we can do. We'll probably get our tight end out of the way because that's a onesie position, and then we'll build the rest around budget-wise. Tight ends that I really like on the slate this week: Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Jonnu, and Cade Otton. I think Cade Otton is a good budget option. Also a really good budget option, like way down there, would be like Grant Calcaterra. I like his matchup against the Eagles. He could possibly be a decent DFS play that probably doesn't get a lot of play this week. Anthony says thoughts on Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he's okay. The thing is, he's cooled off a lot since the beginning of the year, and he could have a little bit of an uptick this week with Neighbors limited potentially, but that's still an offense that I just don't love anything that I've seen out of Drew Lock. I don't love anything that I've seen out of Tommy DeVito. It's just that offense is so putrid right now. It's tough to trust any of the receiving options. But maybe he's a sneaky PPR play if you really need a guy. But we also talked about Freiermuth. Freiermuth could be a decent option with Pickens out. So maybe we do that. Maybe that's what we try and build around. Here at this one, we need a budget maybe. If we have some extra money, we can upgrade. But why don't we start with Freiermuth to budget around that one. Trick says no Pickens, so I got to flex Charb, ETN, or Cam Useless Akers now. I would definitely go with Charbonnet. Charbonnet would definitely be my flex. The Pickens stuff sucks, though, for sure. Let's go to the DST. We'll get the DST out of the way. Some matchups that I like are the Eagles, the Saints, the Titans, the Niners, and the Jags. The Jags, I think, are by far going to be the budget option. Other options that would possibly be the budget would be the Saints. And then I said the Titans there as well. So these are kind of the budget options. I think if we were to make a pick for one of them, I'm probably going to go the Saints defense. I like their defense against the Giants this week, especially with Neighbors potentially limited. So we'll go there. And then that'll leave us to the rest of the positions. So now we can kind of start building it out. At running back, this is one where I want to potentially grab a stud and then maybe a budget guy. There's a lot of budget guys on the slate this week with Charbonnet, Garendo, Braylon, all them guys. Abdul says, hi, Pookie. What up, dude? Appreciate you being here, man. So, yeah, we get all that. See what we can do. I kind of want to go like a Kamara. I kind of want to go a Saquon. Saquon's $1,000 more. We'll see if we can get him. If we need to save $1,000, we'll go down to Kamara. But I think with the other running backs, you have guys like Garendo at 54. We have Charbonnet at 48. And then we have, where is he? Am I missing him? Braylon Allen? Braylon Allen at 5,000. So the cheapest of them is Charbonnet. I feel like he's the guy that I kind of want to play over all of these options just to save some of the money. So you have Barkley and Charbonnet on the slate with Jefferson, Freiermuth, the Saints, and Darnold. Now we can build the rest. We have $15,000 left. We can keep building this one out. Trick says I'm rolling with the Vikings defense rest of the season. Let's go. And Abdul says, should I start Pacheco or Debo? Bye week plus CMC injury packing me right now. I'd probably go with Pacheco. He's going to get some guaranteed carries. I still don't think he's going to be 100% up to this point yet, but I probably would go with him. Abdul says I'm deathly sick, so since I called off work, I'm finally able to watch the 12 p.m. games. Don't remember the last time I did that. Well, I'm sorry that you are sick at the moment. Hopefully you get better, but a good thing you at least get to watch some football. That definitely makes the day better. DG says Elijah Moore or Devonta Smith in PPR. I've got to win to have a shot at the playoffs. I would go with Devonta Smith. Mr. Magic says, yo, I need a kicker. Do I pick up Reichard? You could. He's fresh off of the IR. They cut Parker Romo. Probably going to need to... I mean, you could definitely pick him up if you need one. I don't see why you wouldn't pick him up. Depends on your other people on the wire. Made myself a jerk chicken sandwich. Time to feast on the Falcons. Even though I'm a secondary Falcons fan, I need Kirk going through hell. That's what I said. I want him, I wouldn't be mad if Kirk comes into US Bank and throws a couple interceptions. I wouldn't be mad at it. What else we got? JSN or Jacoby, full PPR. I'm stuck on that all week. I would go with Jacoby. And he says I need a win today for the bye. So, yeah, I would go with Jacoby. And that actually takes me to my next player because I wanted one of our wide receivers in this lineup to be Jacoby Myers because he is such a good budget option. So we can get Jacoby there. And that'll leave us with the flex and wide receiver. We got 10,000, so we're about, 500 each. I think we could potentially, or we're about 5,000 remaining each. So that's going to make it interesting for us. We got some options around here. We could go with probably our flex being the budget option, but I don't want to go too expensive on the wide receiver. I mean, maybe we could go Ridley, Damn, voice crack there while I'm sick. Apologize for that one, guys. Thanks, Big Dog from DG. Alex says Van Jefferson with Pickens out or Quentin Johnston Palmer if McConkey is out. I would rather go with Quentin Johnston or Palmer if McConkey is out. Still Brooks over Gus? Yes, I'd still go with Brooks over Gus. Just think he's going to get more receiving work in PPR leagues. Jettas needs some tutties today. Been flat with the Pumpkin Darnold. Yeah, I think bold take. He might get 2 today. I'm just being honest. It's a bold take. I got the fan, obviously, homerism, but I think he might get 2 today, Anthony. That's why we got him in the thing. But yeah, we probably could sneak in somebody like, I really like Calvin Ridley. I like Calvin Ridley on the slate. Going Jefferson, Ridley, Myers, that might be solid. And then that would put us with our flex being a guy like, sorry, I moved that one down. Put us with our flex as somebody like, I don't know. These aren't great options. We could, if we wanted to save our money, like I said, we could take Barkley out and we could go Kamara. I think I'm going to do that just for the sake of having a little bit of a better flex option for this slate. And that puts us closer into this territory, which is definitely a much better territory to be in. So we'll probably do that. The kickers around are Wright, Reichard, Ryland, Folk. Yeah, I'd probably go with Reichard. I probably would just go with him. Into the file. Yeah, the bold touchdown take. Hey, 2 touchdowns. That's a bold take. But Alex says, you like Palmer over Quentin. That donut from Quentin was nasty a few weeks ago. I would like QJ over Palmer if he was available, just because he seems like he's more involved in the offense. But I'm okay with either of them. I don't think that Palmer's a bad play if Ladd is out. I have Darnold and opponent has JJ. Well, at least you guys cancel each other out for the most part. All right, so our flex. Rachaad White, Thielen, Addison, Jonnu, Ray Davis, Juwan Jennings, Bigsby, Cooper, Tillman, Njoku, Braylon Allen. We could go Braylon. I don't really want to grab 2 of those running backs on the slate because I feel like a ton of people are going to try and grab all of those running backs just because they're valuable. And so if we want to get different from the rest of the field in a tournament like this, you probably have to find somebody else. I don't mind going like an Adam Thielen, potentially. I don't mind going with a guy like, where was he? Jordan Addison, but we do have the double Vikings already, so maybe not. I don't mind going with a guy like Juwan Jennings, potentially. I don't know. How we feeling? How's the chat feeling right now about some of those options? How we feeling about Jennings? What was Jennings, Addison, Thielen, White? How we feeling about these guys? Rachaad White, Adam Thielen, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings. How we feeling about that, chat? What do we want to put in here? And then we'll build a second one. Why don't we build a second one around Saquon? Because I just want to have Saquon on the slate. How we feeling? Thielen, Jennings, White, Addison. Those are kind of the options that I'm looking at. Trix says not touching any Jennings stock. How come you're not doing that, Trix? Andrew says, how do you feel about London versus the Vikings? Decision between him and Evans is looming. I would still play Evans over London, but it's a very good matchup for London. London should be in a spot to see some lighter coverage and score some points above the expectation this week. But I still like Evans over London. Not a lot, but I'd be trying to find a way to get London into my lineup if I could. How we feeling? How how's the chat feeling right now about some of those options? How we feeling about Jennings, Thielen, Jennings, White, Addison? Those are kind of the options that I'm looking at. Trix says not touching any Jennings stock. How come you're not doing that, Trix? Andrew says, how do you feel about London versus the Vikings? Decision between him and Evans is looming. I would still play Evans over London, but it's a very good matchup for London. London should be in a spot to see some lighter coverage and score some points above the expectation this week. But I still like Evans over London. Not a lot, but I'd be trying to find a way to get London into my lineup if I could. Trick says, give me Addison. We want to go with the double Vikings. All right, it sounds like I just got a tweet from Schefter. It says, George Pickens intended to play today versus the Browns, but after conversations this morning, the Steelers decided to take a long-term view and not risk the hamstring injury that he suffered at the end of the week. Thus, Pickens is inactive. Trick says the league got Purdy figured out. I don't know if they got him figured out, or more so that the Niners are without an offensive tackle, without Brandon Ayuk, without Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy has a hurt shoulder. There's a lot of things going on. So I understand, not wanting to go with any 49ers options, but I don't know as much as he got figured out or as much as he's just been dealt the short stick this year. But we'll see. Part of me kind of wants to go with Thielen. I feel like Thielen may be the play here, just because I think he's going to get a ton of targets. So if we go Thielen, that takes all of our budget. We have nothing left. So that could be the first team. So I think we'll probably go Thielen. I don't feel super comfortable going with double Vikings. I feel like that limits our upside overall. So why don't we do that one? So for those at home, this is our first team. Darnold, Kamara, Sharp, Jefferson, Myers, Ridley, Freiermuth, Thielen, and the Saints. So that's going to be our first team, and we'll go from there. So we'll enter this one into the pool. And what else? What other questions do we got here, folks? Anything? Bryce says, good afternoon. Pacheco or Rashad? I think I'm going to go Rashad White. I'm going to go Rashad White there. Thielen just got selected for Good Guy of the Year on his team. They will give him some extra targets today. You love to hear that. Bryce also says, then Jacoby Myers or George Kittle. I think in a PPR league, you're going to want to go with Jacoby Myers. In a tight end premium, obviously, I think you probably want to go George Kittle. In your standard PPR or half PPR, though, it's probably Jacoby for me. Niner says, kicker question, is Will Reichard starting? Should I pick him up over Tyler Bass? Everything that I've heard is Will Reichard is starting. We cut Parker Romo, so Parker Romo is no longer on the roster, which means that, Reichard is the only kicker there. So I would assume he is starting. Probably would still play Tyler Bass over Reichard, though. Just me. Johnny says, sell Grendel for a second in a 10-team league to the league leader. I'm on the playoff bubble. I'm not opposed to it at all. I think Grendel, I talked about it on our Dynasty trade show yesterday. He kind of feels like best case scenario for Grendel is, why my screen is flashing right now. That's kind of crazy. What the hell? I don't know what's going on over there. My screen is just like flashing. So maybe we won't be doing another DraftKings because that's the one that monitor is on. What the hell? We may have to end the stream here fairly soon if this keeps happening because it's affecting everything. Where am I at? Sell Grendel for a second. So on our Dynasty trade show the other day, we were talking about Isaac Grendel and how if you're not a super strong contender, he probably doesn't have much value next year, just because when you look at the contract situation for Christian McCaffrey, it's still going to be CMC next year. The PCL and the Achilles tendonitis, they have no relation to each other. The Achilles tendonitis is something that's going to happen for Christian McCaffrey pretty much, I think, the rest of his career. It's going to be flare-ups and things like that. So, unfortunately, that's not great. But Grendel, to me, best case scenario, he plays really well in the back half of the year, like lights out. Next season, they come in, they say it's CMC and it's Grendel. These are our two guys. Maybe, if he plays super, super lights out, he's in like a 70-30 split with CMC. Like, that's the best case scenario for Grendel to me. So I probably would be trying to sell him anywhere that I have him if I can get anything of value. I think in the second round in a 10-team league for sure, you're probably going to find a better running back than Isaac Grendel next year. I see we got a super chat in here from Sanders. Sanders, appreciate the super chat, and thank you for supporting the channel. He says, full PPR, I need to start 3. Aaron Jones, Braylon, Tracy, Dowdle, Chubb, Garendo, Chubb, Pacheco, Marvin Harrison Jr., Debo. That's 2 running back slots and a flex spot. So the 2 running back slots for me, I'm going to go Aaron Jones and Braylon Allen. Those are going to be my 2 running backs. The flex spot is between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Garendo, but I think I'm going to go with Garendo. So we're going to go Aaron Jones, Braylon Allen, and Isaac Garendo as the 3 plays this week. Those are going to be my 3 plays, Sanders. Appreciate you supporting as always. Thank you. Romeo, half PPR, start 3, Devontae Adams, Neighbors, Tracy, or Braylon. I'm going to go with Devontae Adams here. I kind of think I want to go Tyrone Tracy and Braylon Allen. I'm nervous that Neighbors is going to be limited. I think those are going to be the 3 that I go with. Adams, Tracy, Braylon. Dubridge says pick 2. DK Metcalf at Arizona, Waddle of the Jets, Shakir at the Rams. I'm going DK and Shakir. Those are the 2 that I'm going to go with. And then Mr. Magic says, brother, I need Jones and Hawk to go off. You telling me I need Hawkinson to go off? I got his jersey on for good luck today. I need a big game from him. So, yeah, we'll hope that happens. But like I said, folks, I think we're probably going to have to end the stream because this shit is flashing like crazy. I probably need to like reset my computer. So I appreciate everybody for being in here. You guys always supporting the show. This is the final week for us, so we are going to be trying to get into the fantasy football playoffs, trying to get in there. When I say final week, I do not mean the last week of content. We got 3 more weeks of content, lots of live streams still coming. For those of you that want to win at home, over with our friends at Underdog, we do have a promo here from Underdog. They are allowing new customers to get a free pick for Justin Herbert on Sunday Night Football tonight. Justin Herbert throws for 1 yard. You guys win. So make sure if you've never signed up on Underdog before, you want to get in on the action, you want to play, you want to win some free money because they're giving you this free pick for Justin Herbert, make sure you sign up using our code League FFB. That is the best way to do that. That is the only way to get that promo is if you use our promo code. Additionally, they will also give you $1,000 in bonus cash or up to $1,000 in bonus cash. I want to make that very clear, just up to $1,000 in bonus cash if you use our code. So get that free pick, use our code, get some free cash, and put it all together, win some money here this weekend. Thank you for supporting. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to reset this computer because, god damn it, I hate when we have technical difficulties, but we're having some today. So appreciate everybody for being here, and good luck this week. Hopefully we see you next week in the fantasy football playoffs. Till then, peace out.